from this to this for less than $100 just using your phone and some simple gear from Amazon. Let's talk about how to do this yourself. Okay, this first tip is pretty simple and doesn't require any special equipment. So a lot of new YouTubers and content creators make the assumption that they need a clean, flat background. So you'll often see a lot of new creators film up against something like a blank wall. But this is obviously not a very interesting or cinematic look. So the first thing you want to do is just create as much space as you possibly can behind you. So you can see that even with this one small tweak, things are already looking better. Now the next thing you want to do that your phone is probably already capable of is turning on cinematic mode. And all this really does is just blur the background a little bit more in comparison to you. If you're on a newer iPhone, just scroll left on the video tab to start cinematic mode. And if you're on an Android, no idea, best of luck. So the first thing you'll need is what's known as a key light, which is usually your biggest, brightest light that you put at about a 45-degree angle to your subject. By the way, this is a rechargeable LED light that I got from Amazon that I've been using for years now, and it makes an awesome budget key light or fill light. So I'll leave a link to this down below along with everything else I reference in this video. We're gonna take our key light and put it at about a 45-degree angle to my face, and you'll notice right away that this adds a bit more light and clarity to the left side of me. Now what we want to do is add a second light known as a fill light. And this fill light is going to be at that same 45-degree angle but on the other side of me. And it's also going to be either dimmer or further away. And what this will do is make the left side of me where my key light is brighter and the right side of me where my fill light is just a little bit darker. And this dynamic really makes your subject pop out and appear more 3D and less flat. So let's add our fill light to the right side. And this is super easy to do if you have a second one of these rechargeable LED lights. What I usually do is just turn the brightness down to about half of what your key light is and make the tone of the light slightly cooler. So your key light has a brighter, slightly warmer feel, and your fill light has a dimmer, more neutral feel. So here's how that looks when we put both of those lights in play. So instantly this shot is more dynamic and a bit more engaging, but it still feels like it's lacking something, right? Like it's missing some color or character and I'm not popping out as much as I could be. So this is where we want to add in a backlight and accessory lights. For my backlight, I'm going to use my new favorite toy, which is my small rig LED flashlight. So this is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's a flashlight, so it's very directional, and you can also change the color on it and do things like add patterns to it. And this is not how we're gonna use this today, but this is one of the coolest things that you can do with it, which is do things like make fake window light reflections in your backgrounds. Like how cool is that? This room is completely blacked out, but that looks like a pretty realistic light reflection. Again, I'll leave the Amazon link down below if you wanna check this out, but would highly recommend picking one up. But today, we're just gonna be using this as our backlight. So to set this up, you basically want the flashlight to be pointing at the back of your head. And you don't have to have it visible in the shot here. You could have it behind you in the chair. You could have it completely off camera. I personally think it looks pretty cool and adds a little bit of color to the scene, but also doubles really well as our backlight. So you can see as soon as we add this backlight in, not only does it make the whole scene just a little bit more colorful and interesting, but if you look closely, you can see that it adds a very faint orange glow around my left side. And this just makes me pop off the screen even more and separates me further from the background. And the last thing we want to add to our scene are some accessory lights. So let's do that now. So all I did here was turn on my shelf lights and this little neon lightning bolt that I have. But honestly, you can use whatever you have laying around the house that fits the aesthetic of your scene. This could be something like a lamp or a sign or even something like a TV or computer monitor. And really the only other thing that I would say is absolutely necessary is a good audio system. You can have the most beautiful, cinematic, perfectly lit video on YouTube, but if your audio sucks, nobody is gonna watch. So the final thing I would absolutely recommend with your YouTube budget is some kind of wireless mic system. Ideally something that can connect to your phone like this, and also to a more professional camera if you decide to upgrade. The one that I'm currently using and the one that I use in most of my videos is the Hollyland Lark M2. This is not sponsored or anything, I just think it's a great product and one of the best mic systems out there. So I will also leave a link down below if you want to check that out. Also, if you're a small YouTuber YouTuber and you're struggling with getting monetized or making money from the platform, go check out Monetize Day 1, where I teach you how to make money from your YouTube channel on day 1 through affiliate marketing. That'll be the first link down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck on your YouTube journey, and I'll see you in the next video.